What up? What up? What's happening, Scott? Everything good over here. Just always experimenting, that's all. Appreciate you coming by and enduring my foolishness. It's just so difficult to get all this stuff geared up. This video has been removed. I guess I'll just use this right in front of me. No need for that. Just gonna play some pinball tonight. Some destinations won't get. Oh my goodness, stop. My brother. I'll call you later. I'm going live on YouTube. Okay. He probably won't listen, and he'll call me right back again. So that is blocking keyboard just a little bit. Hey Scott, so are you getting some pinball? Do you have any pinball purchased, or you thinking about, or what's your plan? I don't want two players. Can I just one player? They keep switching the buttons on me. Yeah, I, I put a schedule so it'll go a little later so that I'll have time to set it up. Okay, I got that ALP on reserve too. Wave one, yep. So I did. I think I reserved mine February 1st. Uh-oh, February 1st. Is that about the same time you did yours? This thing is loud. I might need to turn this down a little bit. If I can get this to bounce to the other side. Watch all these cables. What is this cable? This is a charging cable. I don't need that because I'm not using the iPad. Let's turn this down a little bit. Oh, you said the ALP. I'm sorry. The Oh, yeah, so you should be getting word here pretty soon then, huh? Oh, okay, Richard, you just paid for yours. Okay, so you got yours coming pretty soon. I think I paid for it on a Tuesday. Well, I don't know why I keep wanting to say Tuesday, and it was there on. Maybe I paid for it Sunday. I paid for it Sunday, and then I got the shipping notice on Tuesday, and then I received it by that Friday. So it came pretty quick. What up, Al? Just playing some pinball here. I got my back glass back operational again, so kind of hard to play some pinball without knowing what your score is. I don't think I I don't think I've improved since I know what my score is, but still just makes it a little less fun without the scoreboard. Jeez Louise. Okay. Yeah, it just they just got so many people that in that way when they never released the number of people, never released the number of pinball reservations that they took, but they keep on coming out and they're still on wave one. Everybody else I've talked to still is in wave one. Hadn't gotten to the hadn't gotten to the wave two yet, let alone the wave three. And they're saying all of it's going to be at least in motion by March first week in March. Uh, the haptic feedback is fine. You know, you can change. I think I have mine on the mid level. You know, you can have different levels that you can put on. Oh, went too far. And backed up. And I have it on medium, which feels fine. Um, and they've tweaked it since they've released it because this haptic feedback is a speaker. So a speaker is like right under the second or the third logo, whatever they got on this thing, on this lock bar. So it's right there on both sides. And so every time it's hitting those things, you can hear it, or I'm sorry, you can feel it. And I don't have anything to compare it to because I haven't played with anything before. So that's why I have the Attack from Mars pinball table reserved. So because they're using a different technology, so I'll be able to compare and say which one I like better than the other. But I can tell you it's definitely better than not having oh goodness, haptic feedback. What up, Mango Slice? Richard, what's going on? Oh yeah, I, I've seen a few people that have upgraded and it turned out really nice. I am shoot straight down the middle. I have I originally was hooking up my Toy Shock to this one, but I want to get my own PC for this one. So I'm not in any rush. I got to get those. I got to stop buying other stuff so I can have money to do this. Again, my situation is a little different because I already have a way to play all the tables. So, so I already have a way to play better tables because clearly there are better tables than what's available on this or the arcade one-up tables because the VPX just are better tables, period. Um, but I definitely want to play those VPX tables on this bigger screen, so that is my motivation. So I think I'm going to get a little better computer than I had in the Toy Shop. Uh, at least definitely a better graphics card, and not just because the graphics. I'm probably going to get a 4K graphics card. That way I'm ready. Something that will handle 4K. That way I'm ready whenever if I want to upgrade the screen. But the main thing is the graphics card that I bought before only supports 3 screens, and I've already seen people with 4 screens where they took the Legends Pinball marquee up there and made that a screen. So I think I want to do that. Uh, well, that was horrible. Yeah, so at least 3 screens, but I think I'm gonna do 4. Um, and so I have to sort out what I'm actually gonna buy. Yeah, I mean there's nothing like those VPX tables. I mean this is fun, it's cool, um, but I definitely want to be. I want to keep it. But the thing I like about Legends is because they keep expanding and they keep improving it. So I definitely want to be able to switch between the stock AtGames pinball table and then the VPX. So that's the cool thing. Whereas the arcade one up, if I do anything with that, I would have to basically gut out that the internals. I saw a video with Kongs R Us was playing around with trying to split it. He's gonna have a challenge with that period because even if he splits that screen, the controls still aren't gonna work with the other one. So he's got a long way to go, um, and I'll be interested to see what he comes up with. The cool thing about this thing is there's a huge community out here. Most of them are pretty stuck up, and it's they're not forthcoming with as much information. I mean, you have these groups that have tens of thousands of members that call themselves fanatics and fans, and they love it, but you ask a question and you get all kinds of crap, or you get crickets. So that's the thing that I'm hoping to change with this new emergence of people that's wanting to pay less, for one, right? Two, willing to uh, share information, and three, these companies, as they get more competitive, they're going to drive those prices down. So um, I think the culture of virtual pinball is definitely changing, and like anything, it's going to be like the small town feel, right? When all the city folks start moving into the small towns, all the small town people are going to be start complaining about how it used to be, right? Before all these whippersnappers moved into the neighborhood. So you're gonna have that same type of climate change as as the new emerging neighbors, Veeping neighbors come into the neighborhood. The neighborhood's gonna change, and some people aren't gonna like it. Jeez, but it's gonna bring a lot of more people into the fold, and it's gonna um, bring about a lower cost solution. So that is the good thing. Right, Scott. Crap and crickets. A gentleman's guide to virtual pinball. Yep, that's what you're going to get. Crap and crickets. But we're hoping to change all that, right? Virtual pinball, yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it, and it's pretty sweet. People have used like the old camera from the Nintendo. What was the Nintendo thing between it? What's that little camera? Um, not the Nintendo, the Xbox camera. I only have one. I just have that one. They gave me this one to try. Uh, how do I get out of here? They gave me the one to try. It's called the Magic Castle. So that's it. So hopefully they'll give me some more soon, so I can be able to show them off to you guys. Quick game. Uh, because it definitely plays better. It definitely plays better than these Gottlieb tables. Though all the Gottlieb tables aren't made the same, right? So some of the tables are better. Um, but the mechanics, the physics is just much better with the Gottlieb. So I can't wait till they release all those Gottlieb tables. Not the Gottlieb tables, but the Zachariah or Zachariah. Um, so I'm looking forward to that. Kinetics, you're right. The Connect sensor, right? That a lot of people are using that, and it looks pretty cool. Mango slice, no, I've just learned what I've learned in the last year. I've had that modified pinball for just over a year now. I think about just about now is when I went live with the video this month last year. Um, and man, I've been enjoying it. It's been pretty cool this last year. So I went back to the same spot. How do you get out of this thing? So let's go over to the Zachariah table. So they keep switching the buttons on me. Magic Castle. Yeah, that 3D pinball or virtual pinball, it senses your head movement, and then so it changes the camera angle to allow you to see from that particular angle. So that's pretty cool. They need Williams Bailey tables, is what they need. But again, everybody's different. People got their Star Wars and their Marvel, and they're happy with those. Uh, everybody's different. I prefer the more traditional pinball, though I prefer to have much newer tables than these here. Um, but these are definitely newer than the Gottlieb to a degree, and definitely the physics is better. What's my best table? I can't say I really have a best table on this cabinet yet. Um, I can't say I had a best table from the built-in toy shop tables, which most of these tables I had on that, right? Um, what I can say is, well, I guess I can't say because the ones that the other people usually like a honey house, I don't like honey house because I don't know, I have a vision problem. One of my eyes is extremely weak compared to the other one. Um, and so I have a depth perception problem. So and because the human body is pretty phenomenal. My body has always my eyes have just always adjusted. So to me, I don't see anything different. You know what I mean? I see what I see, right? you know. Um, but that lower floor on the black hole and on Hunter House is just weird to me. It's like uh, whenever I go down those levels, I don't really like it. But the strange thing, I think it's just the technology and advancement because the stern table, the ACDC, I don't have that same problem. So I think it's the lighting, the technology changed and got better with those stern tables. Um, but on those Gottlieb tables, I do not like the ones that have the lower floors. So I do like. Let me let me get out of here and I'll show you. Um, I like the one like action. Again, I can't never remember the names. I feel like I've been drinking today already, and I haven't. Quit. Let's back up. I had a tough day today. The day was just rough. My exchange server went down. It was down all day. Um, and I didn't get it up until I was ready to leave. So that was I'm glad I got it going because I didn't want to start tomorrow off like that, right? Um, so let's look. I like lights, camera, action. That's one I like to play. Um, I think you guys probably heard it several times. The one I hate the most is going nuts. I don't even know why that's on any of these tables or any of these cabinets. I think it's ridiculous. I like TX Sector. I like TX Sector. I like lights, camera, action. Those are the ones that were on the Toy Shock. Class of 1812, you saw me playing that earlier. I like that one for sure. Bone Busters, eh, I'll play it. But this one has a lot of newer ones that, um, like a lot of people talk about the Rescue 911. I'm not really a fan. It's just not enough action. It's like it's just repetitive action, and it just drives me crazy. It's just too. That ball just goes to the same spot where it gets picked up with that thing, so that kind of bugs me. Um, Jack's Open. I think that was Meatball Saucy or somebody was telling me about that. Was telling me the rules, and so it made it much a more fun experience once I actually knew the rules. Um, Jack's Open and Pistol Poker. Teed off. Uh, that voice on that little gopher thing or whatever drives me crazy, so I'm not a fan of that one. Wipeout. I don't mind that one, so let's try that one. Bazooka Joe, I am running Exchange 2013, so that server's got to be replaced next year's budget. So I'm gonna have to contemplate going to the cloud. They made it so difficult to find support for this, on premise. They're pushing everything to the cloud as they are with most things. So I don't want to add a player. So I think I'm definitely gonna talk to my boss about going to the cloud. They want subscriptions play. Yeah, we switched to Office 365 this year, or last year due to the COVID. And um, what I've always done over the years was, I buy 10 machines at one time, and then I buy 10, another 10 or 15 here, and so some people had Office 2003, some people had Office 2007, the next 10 had 2010. You know what I mean? So everybody was all over the map. So once COVID, I sent everybody home, and they were on laptops in the office and their desktops at home. I just switched to Office 365 so they can have the same versions of Office no matter which location they were on. So the so I can feel the haptic feedback on this one is much lighter than it was on the other table. So I must have bumped it up. So once I get out, I'm gonna look to turn this up. And so you guys, oh, so if I go to menu, I can go to settings and select as the rewind button now. Then switch that. I can go over. You can't really see it, but I'll go over here to where's it at? Haptic strength. Oh, so now it has down here. So it's on two haptic strength. So how do I switch? All right, so you see I'm hitting the rewind button. It's taking it up from it was on two, so can I hold it down? Nope. I'm put it on 50. Uh-oh, so you only go to 49. That's weird. So I'm gonna put it at 30, see what that does. And how do I go back home? Yeah, it feels better. I don't let them use, they don't use OneDrive, but they use Team. We use Teams. So Teams, we share files, and the nice thing about Teams is they can they can work on the same document at the same time. Uh, so that works out pretty good. Yeah, that was what the heck? Oh, that's because I paused. I'm like, that was quick. I hate to talk about these pinball because it seems like I'm putting it down, and I don't want to put it down because um, for people who haven't experienced VPX, they're going to enjoy it. They're going to love it. So I don't want to discourage people from getting it or thinking that they have to change it right away. Um, that was the I tell you, the worst thing is like when I was modding that toy shop, even though um, I knew I could play better VPX, I wanted to play pinball. So it's like I hate it when I had to open that thing up and be meddling with it because then it meant I couldn't play just the regular Gottlieb tables, right? So I like what the AtGames is doing where you can just plug in the PC. You can either mount the PC inside or under it, or keep it at your regular computer and get long enough cables where it can still be on your desk and be utilized with this, and you can swap back and forth so it doesn't stop you from being able to play. So I think that's pretty cool. How do I get out of here? Quit game. How long do you think? Now with this L, this haptic doesn't have a life cycle to it because it's just a speaker. Um, where the celluloids or I don't know if I'm saying that right. Those are like almost like a cap gun, right? So they have a certain life to it. I don't think that applies here. I think those are much stronger, um, more realistic feeling, but then you have that life cycle to it, right? Um, but a lot of things we use have life cycles, and we don't worry about it until we have to. So I don't think it's a downside per se. What up, your average gamer? Just playing, poking around with some pinball. Had a rough day, so I needed to hit on some things. So I hit on some balls here, right? Um, these these buttons, they change these buttons on me, drives me crazy. Um, I like the tables that have DMD versus the solid state where they just have the score. Um, this is one of those. I don't want to add players. I want to play. Okay, then. Stop talking and start chalking. See these tables just you have that floaty feel, and that's with these. That's true with the Marvel and the not all the Marvel. I do like some of the Marvel tables. I've been playing them more, but they're still comic books. I hate when it zooms in and focuses on the releasing the ball. It's like, man, just shoot the ball and let me play some pinball. Um, so I'm just a fan of to leave my screen stationary and don't be zooming in to all this crazy stuff. I don't want to see ball trails and all that stuff. So eh, when you get your tables, you're gonna have preferences. It's gonna be tables that you like playing. Some tables you can care less about. Some you'll, you know, play more than others. That's just the reality of it. You'll find your half a dozen that you really like playing. Yeah, exciters definitely last longer. So people have been playing around with adding exciters into this thing here already with some great success. And like I said, the more people get this thing and the more people get to poking around with it, you're gonna see all kinds of. That's what's gonna make these things cool, man. People that's willing to share, not people just showing off their pictures like, look what I did, and nah 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 nah. They could be like, look here, here's how I did it, and that's what I like. I mean, obviously everybody won't have, you know, time and effort, to want to take the time and effort to make how-to videos, but at least people are more sharing with it. Not everybody's not going to share, but you're going to have enough people sharing where it makes a difference. I don't know if you guys know Scott. I forget Scott's last name. Sloan, I think it is. He does those miniature pinballs that are sweeter than bear meat. Uh, and he's never made a video on how to do it, but if you ask him about it, he'll send you anything you want to know about it so that you can do it. Uh, what's going on, fellas? John, Jeff, Jordan, JT. I hadn't done any more. Well, yeah, I'll do some more drone videos once this weather breaks, man. We finally got into the 30s, so some of this snow is going to start melting. But yeah, we've had a deep freeze since like December, and all the snow that's come has never left. It just gets shoved to the side. All the parking lots have big mountains of snow in every spot that it can stay, and all of our grasses are about 5 feet tall of snow piled on the edges of the grass. So we got into the 30s. I think all this week is supposed to be in the 30s and maybe the 40s by the weekend for a little bit. So we may see some of this snow melting. Um, Yeah, I know, man. Texas got hit, man, like crazy. And well, we hate it and we're used to it, right? So we know you guys aren't feeling it. Knocked out your power. None of the power plants could heat themselves to keep it running, and they try to blame it on the wind turbines, which is only a small percentage of the power providers. Just a mess down there. And then you got Ted Cruz. I ain't gonna talk no politics over here, but you guys got a mess down there. So I hope you guys get that Texas uh, back in order for you guys to enjoy life, because it's already enough with this COVID thing. What I want to do, exit. Um, so I hope they give some relief down there for you guys and get that stuff cleared up. Yeah, no water, right? Yeah, you can't. Hey, you need to have some heat and water. You take those two things away, there's some trouble. What up, Brad? Yep, Scott. Yep, we're same. Philly and Detroit always get about the same. Um, yeah, it's just we had that powdery snow all year, so because the temperature is just so low, um, that it was just the drifting snow, but it just never left. And today was the first time I hadn't even had to use any salt because it was too cold for salt. So today I had to throw a little salt out there because I had to take off to get that email problem resolved. And it was like about 2.5 inches out there when I left, so I had to clear some of it up. But since I wasn't able to get it all up, some of it turned to ice. Sorry about that. So a lot of it turned to ice, so that's a bummer. But I don't need people falling on my property. I hate that. Start. Yeah, I keep talking and keep starting the same game over. I need to have a drink because the non-drinking me is having some trouble here of focusing. Uh, uh, yeah, I was just talking about my favorite one, tables, Jeff. I like the class of 1812, the TX sector, lights, camera, action. Those three are my favorite. I hadn't played the newer ones, which I prefer the games that have the DMD over the ones that have just the score. So I'm sure some of these other ones will replace to be my favorite sooner than later, but I just hadn't had the opportunity to play with them as much because I had an issue with my back glass, which I got that resolved. So I wasn't playing any of it. I only played the Zachariah table, whatever it's called, because people hadn't seen it. Uh, so this is Gladiator. See, I prefer these tables here a little more. You got a little more action. But again, the physics on these tables is just aren't accurate. It's just not. It just doesn't feel as right as it's. And you'll see when you have the Gottlieb tables and you have the Zechariah tables. I mean, it is clear as night and day. Um, I mean, you can tell when a ball is, and we all know it's all digital. So right there, so there's no misunderstanding that. We know it's all computer driven. Is a virtual pinball, but uh, some makers and some tables just make the graphics feel, and you feel like the ball is being driven by gravity. Whereas on this table and a lot of these tables, it's like you see that ball travel, and you say to yourself, "That's not natural. That's just the a ball is not going to hit off that tip, or it's not going to hit off that bumper, and behave that way." It feels more like somebody told it, right? Somebody programmed to say, if you touch this thing at this angle, then shoot out at this speed and go in this direction. And this it's just not natural. Yeah, and I say it all the time that the choices, I believe the choices for them to do that is because the platforms that they were playing on, you're playing it on your little your cell phone on that tiny screen, or you're playing your iPad, or you're playing it on a with a keyboard. You don't have the same reflexes, uh, and you're not playing for quarters, right? So when you're playing for quarters, when they design something to take your quarters, it's going to play differently than when you've already paid for it and now you just get to enjoy it. They make it so that you can last longer enjoying your purchase versus trying to get your quarter, trying to get you to put another quarter in. Um, so the so the audience and the platform that these games were made for initially is quite different than a cabinet. So that's why these companies have had to make some changes to these things to feel more natural and more accurate as you now get people standing over the screen with traditional buttons and haptic feedback and the ability to nudge the table. That takes for these tables to be thought and looked at differently from the developers. See, VPX, those tables were always designed to try and emulate the real table as accurately as possible. There was no middle ground. There was no like, hey, let's just get this so that somebody can enjoy it on even though people were playing it on desktops with keyboards and mice, the intent of the developers for those VPX tables has always been very clear. Make these tables look and feel as close to authentic pinball as possible. So because of that, you you have a much different product, right? So so like I said, and I did the one video before, and I'll continue to say it. You know, you have to consider the ideal of do you buy version one of these tables from any of these developers, or do you wait for version two? Because clearly, version two can can only get better, right? Version two can only get better. Version three can only get better than that. This is just the beginning of the virtual pinball for home arcade market, the affordable. So, and we use that word, right? Knowing that what's affordable to one person is not necessarily affordable to the next, but compared to what people in that elite group that we spoke of earlier, um, compared to what they're paying to build their own, um, it's a fraction of the cost. Yep, there's Jordan talking about Pinball Emporium again. Yeah, that's something I'm definitely going to look. Um, my heart hurts. My heart hurts. Um, I have not tried it. I've explained previously. I have a depth perception, so I can't because my right eye is weaker than my left eye. I don't get to enjoy um, VR, or I haven't tried VR, but I know I can't see 3D. So I assume if I can't see 3D, I'm not gonna unless I can play somebody's. Both my brothers, the one above me and below me, both have VR, but I haven't been able to try out their systems. But I would imagine that those things work off of your depth perception. So I would imagine I would have a little problem with it. So no, I haven't tried it, but I am definitely interested in trying it just to see that it's something that's feasible for me to be able to use. But the people who have definitely have said nothing but great things about it. But I like being able to shake this table and get that ball to do something different. You know, I like that. I like that. So I'm not playing these games to try and get any score. Now I'm just playing them to talk to you guys and be able to show off what some of these tables look like. If you guys want to see a particular table, just let me know because I'm not into any of these tables tonight. I'm just poking around until my wife says, "Hey, come and get some dinner." She's making some homemade pulled pork, so I am looking forward to that. My Attack from Mars was not canceled. I'm assuming yours wasn't either. I don't know if there was a time frame. I ordered mine on February 1st or 2nd, one of those two. I think it was the first. And I don't know if the people that got theirs canceled, I'm assuming, ordered it before that date. And if so, are they going to get to us and cancel ours? I don't know. So, but they never gave a date anyway. They never gave a date of when it would be available. So I can tell you this: if they cancel it, I'm probably not going to buy it. So, because my wife already told me not to order anything new, so I'm already being hard-headed. So maybe the pinball guys is looking out for me if they do cancel it, right? So who knows? Yeah, I know. If Canada gets those first, I am going to go find Nostalgia and Michael B and take theirs. But I can go across the Windsor, but they're priced ridiculous. You know, I, I don't know what the exchange rate is. Hey Google, how much is 1,000 Canadian dollars? 793. But see, that's $793 US, which you can say, well, that's just $100 more than. Um, well, no, but that's what I pay. I pay $700 for this table here. But that's with tax and shipping. Um, that would be, over in Canada, they charge you PST, provincial tax, and then they have the GST, I guess, the government tax. So, yes, a cold iced tea. Sure thing, I'm live, but I can stop for you for a minute. Your sexy self. Hold on, guys. Cold iced tea? What you got? I'm gonna give me a cold iced tea too then. Need to put some more in there. I need some house shoes on. This concrete is killing me. Get me some cold iced tea too. All right. I usually put some lemonade and some rum in my cold iced tea, but hey, can't have everything. So, what are you guys? What are your favorite tables of these Gottlieb and soon to be released Zachariah tables? What do you think of that new retro mini? Oh, I think that looks pretty cool. Third floor. Um, you know, I was talking about it the other day. I really like my Double Dragon cabinet, how it looks. Uh, so I definitely like the way that one looks as well. I just want to be able to play it more. So I'm looking forward to the actual game, the wrestling game, um, so I can have something to play on that cabinet. Um, because so far, I haven't I haven't had much motivation to walk over there and play it. Uh, so I'm looking forward to the wrestling game to play on it. But yeah, the cabinet with the wrestling stickers look fantastic, and there's no way Jong is going to release that game without putting the actual game on it. That would be ridiculous. So um, I don't have a problem telling them so. So I hope he doesn't do that. Yeah, they need to. Yeah, they have some crazy filters on that Double Dragon for sure. It looks horrible. They have a few things, all the things that I mentioned in my cons video, they have yet to address. And well, that's been over a month. I don't know how. With this COVID, my clock has been totally off. I don't know what's. Last year seemed like it was at least 2 years long. Um, yeah, I mean they talk about all these modern games, but they got to get some good games. They advertise games way too early because you hear about these games and then it's like, where are these games at, man? I mean, when you gonna make them available? And so you sort of get you're not playing the cabinet. You're waiting on these other games, and they have not come. Do you see my high score on the Zachariah? No, oh, Devil Riders Deluxe. I don't know how. I don't know where I would see that at Hollywood because I don't see any of the. Oh yeah, Steam. I hadn't been on Steam in a long time. Um, I haven't hooked this up to my computer for Steam in a while. So now that I got my back glass going, I got to start getting my PC built because I don't want to mess with it until I'm going to have the permanent solution. I don't want to keep switching back and forth. Look at my oh, you can't see it over there, but my toy shock is still not screwed back on because I've been poking around with that. I need to put that thing back together. Yeah, you're right. Your average gamer, that they better not release that wrestling themed cabinet without the wrestling game on it. Um, yeah, you're right, Al. We have way too many options, but I mean, I like options, um, and that's why I like having dedicated cabinets, and I like having the cabinets like the ALU where you can uh, play, a bunch of different games. I got my modded Street Fighter. I can play any landscape game. I'm not really bothered by the screen size. A lot of people modded that and upgraded the screen. I hadn't had a whole lot of desire to do so. It's been fine. And I have my modded vertical with the Galaga. So I like those. I can go play any game. If someone mentions a game, I can go play it. ALU, I can play it over there on a bigger screen as well. But I like being able to walk up to the Star Wars and just play that. I like Golden Tee. I go up to that all the time and just play the game. Um, NBA Jam, that's my grandson's. I'm waiting till the border opens up so I can go over to Canada and give it to him. So I hadn't walked up and played that since me and the game room dudes played that. Um, but I definitely want the IRK to get a game that I enjoy just walking over there and playing. And today, I mean, there's some fun games on that. Buggy game is fun. Um, the bomber game is pretty fun. I'm still waiting to play with the guys so we can actually play and try out the network side of that. Haven't done that yet. Man, Hollywood Polo, he plays pinball all day, every day. Because every time I see him, he's gotten some high score on something. Um, hey Shane, I'm glad to hear your Legends pinball shipped. It shouldn't be long. I mean, obviously it depends on where you're located at, but it came pretty fast to me. Back up, rewind. So some of these tables I've never really played much. Let me try one of those, like Centigrade. That's one of the old ones. Let me try one of these new ones. Like what? What is it? See, all these games look alike to me. Cactus Jack. I think I like that one. Yeah, I already have. So let me show you. So I already have the games on here for vertical, but I don't have the controls yet, so I don't know. So let me back up. So if I quit, so I have a USB drive there. See that little white thing up there under the A. So I got that thumb drive there. And if I back up, if I go up here to BYOG, add on X. Now there's no coin ops yet. They haven't opened that up, or have they? Let's see here. Nope, it's not opened up yet. But you can do add on X. And I go to my directory, and so you see I have these games. So all these are vertical games. But I don't have any way to play them because the buttons, I can't get the buttons mapped. So I don't know what a lot of these games are here, but let's just pull up something. So I have the vertical games on here, just waiting to be able to configure the controls. And I could plug in a joystick and do that as well, but and you see this one, this game was made for uh, coin ops, so it has the I got some dip switches here. Maybe I can do the controls in there, but it's like I don't know what I pressed to even get that. See, I get the button mapping, but then so something's weird. It's like I don't know how to get out of any of this stuff. So, so the menu button is toggling that, but I don't know how I got this other. Okay, so that's my nudge left button, and I can do it here, but there's no input general, but there's no way to actually select that. So that's the problem. So I have the games on here, I just can't control the games yet. And then you have these wacky bezels that I would have to get rid of so it doesn't look this way. But the weird thing is I can go here and I can switch the mode and things like that, but I can't get it to do the button mapping. It's a flipper to pull up on the config. Yeah, yeah, it's a yeah. This the left nudge brings up this menu, but then I can't select anything. Oh, there we go. Okay, so this is the back button. So how do I get out of this? All right, so I found this. So maybe I can program it now. Let's see. What's fire? You see fire? Up, down, left, right, select. Yep, see, it's not letting me pick anything. I don't know. What up, endangered dog? Yeah, I had to play around with this because I can't get any. None of the games I can get to fire. I can rewind. I can't fire. So again, I just have to figure. I got to figure all that out. But the weirdest thing, I can select exit game with select. See that? But it won't let me use that same select button to map the buttons. So it's bizarre. It's really bizarre. But I ordered the pen sticks too, Brad. So that problem will be solved once that comes. But in the meantime, so I'm ready for it. I think I have like 300 games on here. So Robot Deluxe is the worst game. Hollywood Polio. I'm sorry, Hollywood Polo. You play pinball 24/7? Tell the truth. Your average gamer. I haven't tried to link my Gamer Pro. I probably could, but that's just too much effort. When I got the other thing ordered, I was looking for one of my joysticks. I have a box full of joysticks, USB joysticks somewhere, but I'm terrible about keeping track of stuff like that. Isn't one of those millions of boxes over there in the corner? Okay, Hollywood, just a few hours every 2 hours. Yeah, I think every post I see from you, even on other channels, like I got the high score again. Now, I'm really not a fan of these really old, what's it called, electric magnetic games with the bells and the chinga binga beans. Just not enough action for me. I need action. So every now and then, I will play them just for laughs and giggles. Yeah, see, for one, the 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 gap between the bumper, between the you guys know I can't even think tonight. Um, Flippers. The gap between the flippers is just way too big. And again, they had these things designed to take your quarter. Now, the one thing I do like about VPX, I have modified some tables to do some things that I wanted it to do, so it's more enjoyable to me. That's the great thing about being the arcade owner versus just the arcade player, right? So I like that. So let me see if I can show this nudging. So yeah, see here with this particular table, it's not it's like the whole table jumps. It's not as responsive, but on the Zachariah tables, it's more responsive. So look at that. One quarter gone. Oh yeah, Valentine's Day. Thanks for asking, Hollywood. Yeah, I took my wife and daughter. I usually take both my daughters, but the other one had to work, and she had a big plan with her boyfriend. So they have their own plans these days now, right? The older they get. Um, but I took my wife and youngest daughter out, and whatever that wine was, I'm trying to find that because I knew I should be able to get a whole lot of loving after that because my wife was in such a good mood. She gave the waiter $100 tip on Valentine's Day. So I said, whatever that wine is, I need to have it. Um, because she was feeling good all over. Yep, she was like, these guys haven't been working, COVID, blah blah blah. I said, hey, it's funny because I pulled out my credit card and she was like, $100 tip. I'm like, okay, we're gonna use the family credit card now with all this foolishness. You're gonna be messing with my my arcade funds, fooling around with some $100 tips. Jeez, guys, you see how long it's taking me to get my letters in here? This is ridiculous. I can't concentrate. I need to get some food. I didn't have breakfast till like after lunch, and then I didn't have lunch until I was coming home. I hadn't watched the latest version of episode of WandaVision. I have to give it another chance because I watched the first episode and I was like, it's just I just wasn't feeling it. And my son, I got him hooked up on Resident Alien, and I felt the same way about that. And he was like, "Oh, I'm really enjoying this." So I might look back at those two. Um, but I watched both of those the same day, and I was like, "That's enough." What am I watching on TV currently? I don't know. I'm watching something called Blown Away on Netflix, where they making glass structures, sculptures. Um, Watching that, and I watched something called Ludin, or Nin. I don't know, but it's only one season, so I hate when I find something I like and it's only one season because now it may never ever be another season, or I gotta wait a bazillion years for another season to come out. Uh, I haven't watched The Great North on Fox. I don't have traditional TV. I haven't had cable TV in 8 or 9 years, maybe 10 years now. So I've been streaming everything. So when you say on Fox, that means nothing to me because I never watch anything on the traditional channels. Um, so my Fire Stick, I'm typically watching whatever I want to watch. Um, and so I'll take a look at that. I'll find that and give it a look see. It's funny, I'll go to watch something on one of the non-traditional methods and they're like, oh, this looks like pretty cool. And it'll say Netflix. I'm like, oh, I can just watch this on Netflix instead of watching it through these channels. Um, Same thing with the Prime videos, because Prime and Netflix have been really great at making good content lately. I haven't really steered too far from those two over at least the last year for sure. But I'll check out the Great North. Hey Google, remind me to check out the Great North tomorrow at 8 p.m. What up, Destro? It's your boy, Detroit Love, with a live video. Let's get out of this. Let's get out of this. Quit. Everything is everything. Did I play El Dorado? I don't know where I've been. I don't know where I've been and where I'm going. Oh man, this is old school. Bing a bing a ching a ling, ching a ling a ling, bing bing. Look how little these flippers are. And you know they were new too because they even are named flipper, just in case you didn't know what they were. Oh man, these little. Hey, but like some guys out there remind you, size doesn't matter. These little flippers will do some damage. Okay, these little flippers will do the business. Not this particular business, right? Little nubs. Ching a ling a ling, ching a ling on you. All right, I can't. I'm not gonna be playing too much longer with these little nubs. So go ahead and put this table up here, Central Park, right up there with what's my worst table? Hey, it takes skill. It just takes a special type of skill to get that motion in the ocean, right, Al? I mean, maybe it's appreciated more when you have to work for it like that. The best things in life are the things you work for, right? You know, who am I? Who am I to complain about somebody enjoying their little nub? As long as they can find somebody to enjoy that little nub, good for them. You know, yeah. I'm doing. Look at that. I got 1,000. Woo wee! I almost got Hollywood. Almost got Hollywood's leaderboard score with that one. Look at that. I got an invitation from Bo Bender, but I can't play Metal Slug on this pinball machine. So maybe next time. What's Genie? All right. Look like. So this is when they went to solid state. A, B, C, and LMLP. See, watch this. Oh, you can't see that ball bouncing over there. Yeah, Terry Red, Bazooka Joe. Yeah, I looked at Terry Red and Frenchie. Yeah, I think Frenchie pointed to Terry Red's. Um, I mean, it's not complicated. It's not complicated. It's not rocket science to get it started. Getting it started is relatively simple. You just got to follow some very defined directions. Is getting the tables. That's where the problem comes. Some of the tables just aren't available. Um, and they don't, the snooty guys don't want to share. You'll find some people that will, because again, you don't know who's the FBI. That's how we used to always be back when we had bulletin boards. We had bulletin boards with sharing DOS files. It's like it could be the FBI, man. Don't be giving anybody your bulletin board number and they dial in. Um, so you just never know, you know. And so I understand. I understand. Nobody wants to nobody wants to get in trouble by trying to help somebody. Um, but some of the tables just aren't available anymore. And then you find a table and it doesn't work right, so you got to figure out how to get it to display correctly or show the back glass. You know what I mean? So that's where the challenge is. It's not like you just find a table and put it on. That's probably the case in half the time, or maybe 60% of the time, maybe even be a little higher. But it's just when you find a table that you really want and it's not working right, that's the frustration. That's where the frustration kicks in. It's like, come on. And clearly, people have all these tables. Some people have thousands of tables, but they fix them for themselves. And then, the one that's out on the internet is still the one that's not configured correctly. Yeah, and two bazookas. Yeah, so even when you have the tables, it's like, how do you have to have a, a storage space big enough to house it to even be able to share to somebody if you did want to share. And torrents doesn't really aren't really being used for pinball tables at a capacity where people can really find them. Wow, I was racking up some some tens and hundreds straight down. Yeah, they're still on wave one, Chum Bucket. They're still on wave one, but they said that they're going to get through them all by the first week in March. So that's coming soon, soon and very soon. So you at least have a shipping notice or have something in motion. Right, Mike. Oh man, Windows 98, Windows NT worked in that corporate world. I don't know if you guys remember OS2. Did you guys ever play with OS2? Oh, IBM had come out with an operating system back before Windows 3.0 and 3.1. That OS2 was pretty sweet, but they just didn't have the traction. Uh, Back up. All right, guys. Well, I better get going and get me some grub. I appreciate you guys coming by and watching. Somebody's calling me. It's my brother again, trying to get his electric bike. He just bought him an electric bike. I put it together for him. So he's trying to get that. All right, guys. Thanks for chatting with me. Thanks for hanging out with me. Uh, until next time, man, I'll see you guys on the web. Thanks.